That's better. And it's also...
I'll just do it this way.
Yeah, that's good because then it's also the dark room behind you gives it kind of a...
Like a Michael Myers type,
like a spooky horror movie.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, so what I was going to kind of talk about today a little bit was Squid Game, because I just think that.
But wait, Gary.
Sorry, go on.
We have to start first.
Please. Sorry, my apologies. Go on.
Actually, I don't even have those things on my hand, but.
It's all Marchese and it's all Marchese and
Well, Gary, I forgot my helmet. I left my helmet on the side here. I'm just in between going to places. I thought if I ever had an Iron Man suit, I would fly to see you, and then we could do a show live. But
yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm still working on it. But as you said in the prelude, Squid Games.
Squid Games, yeah.
Are there any squids in there? I only watched like an episode and a half.
No, not at all. For those who don't know, Squid Game is a game in Korea, apparently, that children play. Similar to What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf? I don't know if you play it in the States, when someone turns their back to the rest of the kids and they count up time.
That's like red light, green light. That was actually the first game in there.
Yeah, they played games like that. But Squid Game is a Korean game. I'd never played it before or heard of it before, but apparently it's very popular in that part of Asia. Obviously, it's quite a well-known series on Netflix at the moment. And me and my wife sat down and watched the first couple of episodes, and my wife said, "That is rubbish. I don't want to watch that anymore. That's absolute trash." And I was like, no, give it a chance. I hear it's really, really good, and I'm really glad we stuck with it. There are areas where it can improve. I think it's one of the better series at the moment on Netflix. And it does have the scary elements, hence the sort of Halloween link.
Yeah, the blood looked kind of fake. I'm going to just throw it out there. But the whole thing with the Korean horror movies is you sort of look past certain things. The quality is good. I'm not going to say it's bad. And it still has that Korean feel. It also makes me feel like when I used to watch Spirited Away.
Oh, yes. Don't ask me to pronounce his name, but he's absolutely amazing.
It has that Studio Ghibli or something. Ghibli. So it has that sort of feel, too, when they talk, because it's sort of cheesy the way the overdubs, but it's still passable. Because I've seen bad horror movies that this is, even with the cheesy overdubs, it's still much better than a bad horror movie. Blood was kind of, it did have moments when it was shocking, I guess you can say. I know what your wife was meaning, because in the beginning, as you usually like to say, it was a slow burn. I didn't really. I was like, "Oh gosh, this is silly." And then when they started killing people, and then the beginning of the second episode, where the person was like the coffin. I'll just say the coffin thing. That was kind of, I like that. You showed what was going on. It didn't just flat out tell you, "Oh, look at this." But yeah, so far it's good. I probably. Continue watching.
I watched a video actually talking about the dubbing and things like that on YouTube, and someone was saying how actually the American dubbing, the English dubbing over the top of the Korean language, is one, inaccurate, and two, really poor.
Yeah.
Apparently it's a lot deeper than the English dub suggests it is, and some of the way things are pronounced and some of the way things are said are actually really sort of foreshadowing and really clever. And the person who on YouTube who was talking about it, this girl, she was saying it just completely does the entire series a disservice, because there's these little subtleties that you just kind of completely miss out on. But
it's also weird because it's a Netflix exclusive, so it has to be deliberate, right? Mm-hmm. And there is a scene, I know what you're talking about, where the officer calls the number. I'll just say that. I'm not going to give anything away. And he calls the number and he says, "Oh, my bad." And I'm like, that you're not going to say that. Come on. That's,
Yeah. The video I saw was particularly around I can't remember the lady's name, but the really eccentric lady with the long hair who has the sex scene. You might have seen the sex scene yet, but
not yet. No.
You might not have got there if you've only watched an episode and a half. But there's a lady later on who's like a bit kooky and a bit eccentric, and apparently she foreshadows quite a lot. And some of the things she said are like really culturally relevant to Korea and things like that. And it's really clever, and you just completely miss out on it with the English dub. But for those who don't kind of know what Squid Games is, I'll just kind of lay it out really, really simply without spoiling anything. Squid Games is about, if you've seen Battle Royale or anything like that, the Japanese film, which is quite well known, about people killing one another and this, that, and the other. And if you've ever seen Saw, where people are eliminated via games, there's an element of that to it, but it's a little bit more subtle than that.
Yeah,
very, very poor people.
Yeah, they also have a choice.
Yeah, they can go
in a way,
and if a majority votes, they can come back out again, which actually happens in the series at one point.
In the second
season, they kind of shocked. Yeah, they're kind of shocked by what's happened. They go right, let's vote out, and they vote out, and they go out again, and then later on they come back in again. It's more subtle than Saw. It's less scary than Saw or graphic than Saw. Though it's quite graphic. I won't let kids watch it. I know my daughter's asked to watch it, and I'm like, no, even at 11 years old, I probably won't let you watch that. It's about games. It's about a process, and it's a bunch of very, very poor people who are financially broken and in debt with this dream to make money, and they go through these games one at a time, and by process of elimination at the very end there's one final game, and whoever wins that wins everything effectively. But near the very end you find out why they're doing this, and it introduces some characters on the antagonist side. It becomes a little bit less mysterious and stuff. It's really good. I definitely recommend watching it, and I'd be really interested to see what people kind of thought about, like you said, the weird sort of Korean sort of kookiness to it.
Yeah. Well, do you think there's going to be a second season, or you think this is a one-shot season?
No, absolutely, it's going to be a second season. I think.
Really?
I think it cost $200,000 to make or something. Wow. Something stupid. Yeah, something really, really low, and it's made like $1.3 billion for Netflix.
Yeah, those are usually the best ones. Yeah. You ever saw that kind? I watch these weird things on YouTube about like the darker side of YouTube and strange videos and stuff. And I saw this one thing about this guy. There's this picture, and it says, have you ever seen this man in your dreams? And it says, call this number, right? And it was just this whole thing, and there was a few YouTubers that went on, and they investigated this, and they found out that it was just a thing where you call this number, they take your dream, and it was like this whole thing going on. I kind of forgot, actually, but is this like sort of what Squid Games is doing? Are they trying to like gather information from the populace about something? I mean, what do you take on it? Because you said you don't know totally yet, but you said they also did give an idea of where it's going to be going, or they did lay it out at the end.
Yeah, at the end is the implication that they might get drawn in again. The implication at the very end of the series is that the main character in it, who survives, there's an element of revenge at the end, because I don't want to spoil it too much, but it can get back into the game somehow.
Yeah. So basically greed. The guy wants to...
No, I don't think it's greed. I just think it's pure revenge, because he's lost a lot. You know what I mean? And one of his friends has died, and he dyes his hair bright red at the very end, which is a bit random and a bit weird. Apparently it's supposed to signify rage or something. Yeah. So there's this implication that the second series might be him trying to just sort of gain some sort of vindication for what's kind of happened, because he's won all this money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's solved all his dreams at the end of the day, but at the same time he's lost so much because of it. I'd give it like 8 out of 10 squids. If I could, it was
8
that good. But there are 8 out of 10 squids.
I've seen only a episode and a half, and I would give it so far, 7.5, 8 squids.
Yeah, it gets better, man.
Yeah, but yeah,
cool.
Halloween,
man. Yeah, it's very close. We've got our decorations out already, and I think we've taken to it a little bit more enthusiastically than we've done in previous years, because we're in the new house and we've got the 2 kids, and it's been quite exciting, really. And this is it. Oh wow, I love your little gourd. Is that a real gourd?
Yeah.
Model. Yeah. We got a few of them. Yeah, we've got little ones out in the garden. Yeah, nice.
And there's 2 of them. Woo!
Wow.
I dropped my. See, you can see this one's a little more discolored. And got my autumn mix. Not sponsored, so I'm covering up the name. But my autumn mix.
For ignorant English people like me, what's an autumn mix?
So it's like the candy corns with with a whole bunch of different you got little pumpkins, you got the chocolate candy corns, and then the regular candy corns. So the pumpkins give you a huge sugar load. So
nice.
If you're trying to lose weight, only have 1 pumpkin, but it says here it's only 110 calories per 11 pieces. So you won't get too sick, just a little.
Large marshmallows and
Gary,
dweebs and...
Before we go on, I have to go trick-or-treating, so give me 1 second. Oh, get these glasses off here.
Nice. There you go.
You think I would know how to do this? I go trick-or-treating with it it costs some money, and it costs a lot of, and what I do is, I go trick-or-treating every year as this, to recoup the money that this cost, because it was quite a lot. But Gary,
yes,
maybe the next episode we'll do this live.
Oh wow, that'd be nice. Look at that. There he is, Iron Man.
Yeah.
I might change the light up a little bit actually, just give me 1 second. It's a bit bright behind me is all I'm thinking. There's a light literally just there. Just give me a minute.
Oh yeah.
Is that too dark or is that okay? Or
That's too dark. Yeah.
I've heard stuff about it being, stories about it being like, some sort of metaphor for something,
But now,
politics.
the big question: politics. Sick it. I didn't even see any politics in it. You got to watch a Korean show just to get the politics these days.
I was going to say, man, it's just.
But the biggest question, Gary: does Squid Games somehow tie in to the Walking Dead universe?
If it does, it's random. If it does, it's like us tying in the Walking Dead universe. It's just absolutely random. But I would definitely, I don't know. Yeah, games some sort of yeah. Aren't we unlucky?
Well, getting back to Stranger Things. Remember that? I'm not Stranger. Getting back to Stranger Things. Getting back to Squid Games.
It's later on. It gets a little bit. I don't know how to describe. No, near the very end. And at the end, it leaves it open to a sequel. Though I don't know how they're going to kind of work that without it being too cheesy. But yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Stranger Things.
Stranger
Things. Yeah. I haven't watched season 2 yet, but I'm assuming that once you saw what the other side and you saw everything that there was to know about that whole other world or whatever, now it's like, what more can you do?
To be fair, they released a trailer for Stranger Things. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and they're going in a completely different direction. Ah, that's good. Oh, I was going to actually ask you as well. Oh, what's this? Little BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I've not seen one of them for a while. Is that actually in use at the moment?
No.
Is that? Oh right, I was going to say.
Yeah. No, it's. Let me put on my. Let me just.
I was going to ask. I've got myself some tin pumpkin.
Tin. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The two, whatever it is, the tin like that.
Yeah.
We usually do like a pumpkin pie or we did a pumpkin cheesecake last year.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of intrigued as an American person who clearly eats pumpkin 365 days a year. What's the best recipe for pumpkin?
I would say pie. I would do a pie. You can do muffins. You can do, I make my own pasta now. So I understand how you can mix pumpkin into the pasta to make pumpkin pasta. You can do those kind of things. Pumpkin cookies. You just gotta mash it up and just mix it in with the mix pretty much when you're making cookies. I don't buy outside stuff anymore, so like pancakes, you can make pumpkin pancakes. When I make the pancakes, I make banana pancakes, so all it would be was just putting the pumpkin mix instead of the banana mix into the mess that you make, before you cook it, and it's good. The pumpkin pie is probably the easiest thing. And I know you guys don't get a lot of pumpkin pies there, so it's probably better that you...
Oh, yeah, you can't get them in the shops or anything. You have to make your own. And like I said, I've got one tin of pumpkin puree. That was from last year, and I got that from the American section of a supermarket.
The American section.
There's like a world food section, and there's usually like a little American bit. It's usually full of like really unhealthy food, like hot dogs and large marshmallows and
Oh.